Welcome back to the Cat Knit Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, April 5th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. Today we are joined by Unicorn Pusheen because why not? If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I am currently logged out of Ravelry for the accessibility things. So yes, that is a thing that is happening. But yeah. So if you do not have access to Ravelry, you can follow me on any of the other social medias that I am on way more often. So if you would like to check out my show notes, there will be links to the things that I will be talking about. If I remember everything. Also, excuse me, I'm very sorry. This is gonna be a jumble of an episode. Also, there is a giveaway information that I shared last week that's still on my blog and on last week's episode. We'll go over that in just a moment. I have a lot of knitting to share with you. So, if you would like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, a laundry to fold, any of the above, all of the above, none of the above, whatever brings you joy, maybe that's just relaxing, you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, we got some things to talk about, everybody. But first of all, let's go over the giveaway information. Last week's episode was episode 200, which is just amazing. And I am giving away a copy of Heather Handmades' new pattern, Textures of Comfort. We're working together with that. And then I will also be giving away a gift card for her shop, so you can get some of her yarn, which is super exciting. The giveaway opened this past Wednesday and it will remain open until this coming Monday, April 12th. If you would like to enter, or if you're interested in entering, you must do the following things, and that is 1, follow Heather on Instagram at Heather Handmades. 2, you must subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Cat Knit Podcast. And 3, you must go to episode 200, so last week's episode, and you must comment your favorite thing about spring. There have been so many fun things that I've read from people about what their favorite thing about spring is, and it is just making me really excited for the spring days. Even though I do love the cold, I do love the spring as well, and I do love the just fresh, new beginning feeling that it brings, and it's just very, very exciting. And reading everyone's comments about what is special to them makes me even more excited. So if you'd like to enter to win those 2 things, I will be drawing when I record next on April 12th and announcing that winner in that week's episode, so episode 202, because this is 201. So that is very exciting. I'm so happy to be working with Heather for this giveaway, and just to have reached 200 episodes, that's pretty crazy. And yeah, just lots of fun and exciting things. In other news, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen this, but I have received the first COVID-19 vaccination, and I received it on Saturday, this past Saturday, and my arm really hurts and I'm very tired. So if I seem a little out of it, if I do not seem up to my normal bubbly self, I'd like to think that I'm bubbly. If I do not seem like my normal self, that is why I am dragging. So other than that, I felt pretty fine, so I can be very thankful for that, and I'm just very, very thankful to be able to have it at all. So I'm not complaining, but I'm just letting you know. Everything's fine. I am just feeling a little saggy today. But we do have a lot of knitting to talk about. So, No finished objects though. No unexpected finished objects, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. That's not a bad thing. We are not, that was not the goal. That was not the goal. Also, I forgot to put on my rings. Yes, that is a thing. So let's talk about this one because it's on the top and it makes things easy. Also, yes, there is normally a table over here, but it's my yarn winding table, and I've left it in the living room all week because I keep meaning to wind up yarn and I haven't, and I didn't want to bring it in here because my arm hurts. And so we are decorating with the pusheen. This is real life, people. We're not sugarcoating anything. This is just making things work. And it's not like the table's heavy either. Like, it's very lightweight. It's like a TV table from IKEA that I've had for forever. And has nothing on it. It has my Swift and my ball winder attached to it, so it weighs practically nothing. But yet I still did not want to carry it in here. So again, we're decorating with the pusheen. Here's my knitting. Let's talk about my knitting. This is my beautiful, I'm in the middle of the row, that's really great, but you guys know what this looks like. This is my Advent pineapple yarn Advent calendar dotted rays speckle fade by Stephen West. Also, I got my shot in this arm, so if you don't see me lifting it very high, that is why. I'll lift this arm higher and this arm lower, and now you know the little details, you know. So I'm trucking along. I am a little less than halfway, I think, with the last wedge before I start the border, which is very exciting. I think I am. This is the mini that I'm working on currently. Again, this is pineapple yarn. Advent calendar, her advent calendar from last year. I saw she just announced her advent calendar for this coming year, and the pictures were just so cute, and I just can't even wait to see what they turn or how it turns out. So if you are looking for an advent calendar and you're looking for some bright fun colors, please go get hers or go look at the picture, the inspirational picture, because it is just so amazing. And her advent package was just really wonderful. So I cannot speak highly enough about her yarns and herself. She's just really, really sweet and quite a delight, and yeah, she makes wonderful, wonderful, beautiful yarn. So please go check those out. Again, if you're looking for an advent calendar. And yeah, we have yarn tangled everywhere. Oh no, oh goodness. I know, I'm a wimp. I'm a wimp when it comes to shots. I don't handle moving my arm very well, and it's just a struggle. Also, yeah, it's different. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. We're gonna stop talking about it. I know. So, this is just, again, I've said this once, I've said this many times. This is like my comfort project. This is my, like, I cannot think right now. This is my brain is not working. I cannot really function very much right now project. And or in addition to that, it is also, I am working on other things, yet I want to knit. I need to multitask. This is also the perfect project. It's also an incredible stash buster. Obviously I used an advent calendar, so I'm using a bunch of minis. Stash diving would be amazing for this shawl, the Dotted Rays by Stephen West. It's very easy, it's very straightforward. I would highly recommend it. And yeah, it's just, if you're looking for a massive garter stitch beauty, this is one of those great options. And the colors are just really exciting. They make me happy, they bring me joy. Which is great when I'm really tired and I'm really just not wanting to do anything. I would highly recommend. And yeah, it's very fun construction. It's very intuitive. I feel like it's very easy to follow. The instructions obviously are very well written because it's Stephen West, and if anything is confusing, he has tutorial videos on his YouTube channel, which is really amazing. I feel like he's been putting out more of those recently. Do I always have things in my eye when I record? I feel like I do. I'm sorry. So that is my Advent project. My Advent Dotted Rays Speckle Fade from Stephen West. And it's getting there. I'm not going to put pressure on myself to finish it anytime soon. I don't expect to have it done for next week by any means. And I was thinking about taking a week off, but we'll talk about that next week. I'm definitely going to be here next week because we have a giveaway to announce, and that's just very exciting. So we'll see when this gets done. Again, I'm not pressuring myself to get it done anytime soon. I'm just enjoying the process and enjoying the colors and enjoying the soothingness of garter stitch and the beauty of garter stitch. In the same vein of Stephen West, because we do love a good Stephen West here, if you are new to the Cat Knit Podcast, I love Stephen West so much. So I am actually working on a little baby penguino for my nephew. He just turned 3 in February, and I will be able to see him soon, and so I need to finish up his little penguino so I can give it to him. And I have stitches coming up my needle. I have made some amount of progress since I showed this to you last. Let's see if I can hold it up. Oh! We'll just lean back. That works. So I have this whole side done with the orange and the gray stripes, which I think is awesome, and then I'm working on this side currently. I'm loving this orange, or this very beautiful mustard. Sorry, I had this in my peripheral vision and was thinking that this was the color I was talking about. No, it's this beautiful mustard color. I also like these stripes that I did back here. I think that's really fun. I'm not quite sure what exactly I'm going to do with this front. I want to incorporate this green in somehow, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I may just color block it because I don't want too many stripes because this side is striped. But yes, this is section number 9, I think, out of 15, so I'm making good progress. And again, most of this is garter stitch, which is really nice, so I can do other things, like read and watch K-dramas, which involve me reading subtitles. That being said, I was just talking to Sam right before I was filming because I don't know what made me think of it, but the K-drama I just finished, I feel like was just so perfect and so amazing. I am still experiencing like an emotional hangover of sorts. I don't really want to start another one because I want to hold on to that one that I just finished because it was so good. But then I can't experience them, so that it's just it's a problem. But anyway, garter stitch, that's my point. Great, mindless, for the most part, project, with very straightforward instructions, very clear instructions. This does look like a very crazy thing to construct, and I would agree with you. It's very odd in its construction. It's a lot of pieces, but there's no seaming, which is always a nice thing to a knitter or crocheter's ear. The seaming is 0. It's all by picked up stitches, so that's really great. And like I said, he has very clear and concise instructions and pictures that you can look at. It looks kind of like a mess right now, but I believe after I'm done, my next step is the sleeves. And that'll be there. But I'm excited. I feel like, so on mine, I have my own penguino that I knit sometime last year, and I'm also in the process of knitting Sam, my husband, his penguino. But I have a lot of black, and I feel like I really like on mine how I did a dark, I think it's technically a black with some sparkly mohair of some sort and something else around the border. So the border is really dark, and I think that looks really cool. So, but I don't know. It could also be cool in white, because the sleeves would look really cool in black. I don't know. I have decisions ahead of me, and we know how I feel about decisions. I really just shouldn't overthink it. That's really my real thing. I should just go with the flow, make a spontaneous, spur of the moment decision. This is all superwash and acrylic yarns that are machine washable, because again, my nephew's 3 and I don't want to burden my sister-in-law with a fancy piece of knitwear that she has to hand wash and lay flat to dry. So I'm gonna give her some pretty easy washing instructions. I know, I'm sure she would not mind if I did that, but like, I know that would just not necessarily be the most considerate thing to do. I would not want to make it more complicated than it needs to be. So that's super exciting, and I hope to have that done. I'd like to have that done by next week, actually, because the following weekend I will be seeing my nephew, so. And hopefully I'll get some cute pictures of him in it, which will be very exciting. Next up, I have a lot of stuff to talk about this week. I really do. Although I do have some projects to talk about that I haven't worked on, so. But we're also trying not to bump the tripod. This is in my Adventure Awaits bag that I do love dearly, that my mom got for me from Maker and Stitch. I was not on that trip, but it is from there, and I do love that place. This is my Ziggy shawl by Joji Locatelli. I did not move my progress keeper, but I did make a decent amount of progress. We're going to move it right now. Ooh, okay. It's not as much as I did last week, obviously, because I was super inspired to work on it, but it is some amount of progress. So, here's my Ziggy shawl. It is quite wonderful. It is a garter stitch and lace patterned shawl. I have my unicorn stitch markers that I got from the Knitting Cup in Georgetown. They're from A Needle Runs Through It. And then I also have my, and I've lost it because it's bunching up, I have my sparkly chocolate donut, or maybe it's an apple cider donut, I actually don't remember what she called it, her Little Bitty Delights Progress Keeper, which I just love dearly, because Amanda's just really amazing. This is Madeline Tosh Merino Light Holo Glitter. I was so close. I second guessed myself, but I was right. Tosh Merino Light and plus Holo Glitter in the Star Scatter colorway. I honestly don't know if they do this base anymore. I feel like they do. Please focus. But I could be completely wrong. I have not looked at their website in a very long time. But I'm currently working on my second skein. Things are moving just right along. I am now on my third garter stitch section. We're gonna move it over. My third garter stitch section. So I have, in the end, I will have 4 lace sections. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then once I'm done with the garter stitch here, I'll have 1 more lace section and then another garter stitch, I believe. And then a picot bind off, which is gonna take forever, but it'll be worth it. you know. It's quite a love-hate relationship with Pico Bind Off, you know, because like it creates such a beautiful texture and finish to things, mainly shawls in my opinion, but it just takes so long, and it's like, I feel like it takes even longer than an I-cord bind off, which I feel like that is a very accurate statement. An I-cord bind off does take a long time, and it's also very worth it. Just gotta set aside time to do that cast off, because I know I'm gonna end up with a ton of stitches because this is a big shawl. I also did go up my needle size. We also have a difference in gauge, but it really doesn't matter. I do not care. Is it me being lazy and not wanting to knit this on the size of needle that I started with? Yes. But again, do I care? No. And this is a do as I say, not as I do. I will block it. It will all be fine. It is okay. I am making things work. I am making it so I am enjoying the process. And ultimately what it is that my gauge changed, because I did start on a 6, and that's not the 6 that I have, the 6 gauge that I have now, and I'm not a fan. So again, blocking will change everything. This is another really great pattern. If you are looking to kind of like expand your lace horizons, if you've only done a little bit of lace, I would very highly suggest this pattern. I feel like it's very well written and straightforward. They're both written and charted instructions. Hohi does an amazing job with explaining things and just making it very easy to follow and memorize. I know last time I said that for some reason I was not working out very well with the lace and I just could not get it, but this time I got it. We're jiving. We're getting along very well. We're meshing, connecting. I don't know. There's a lot of words that mean a lot of different things. I don't know. I am successfully knitting the lace. That is what I'm trying to say, and I am enjoying it. And it doesn't take up too much brain energy. But now I'm currently on the garter stitch section, so I just do that for a good amount of time. More reading, you know. So, excuse me. I told you I was tired. Apologies if I made you yawn. I know whenever I watch someone on YouTube or in a video or anything, if they yawn, I will always yawn, and I apologize for that. So next up, I told you we had a lot of knitting to discuss. This is kind of a little, I feel like this is kind of spontaneous. It's really just kind of bebopping along. This is my test knit for Charissa, or CL Knits on, or CL.knits, I think, actually, on Instagram. And I can't remember the name of it. It's something, I was unsure of the pronunciation of it. I think it's Accurate. And no, I can't, oh, there it is. It's like I can't find the, yeah, Accurate. Accurate. Arcuate. Arcuate? The Arcuate vest. It is super cute. It's a V-neck. We've got some cable action. It's cropped. It's super cute. I'm knitting outside of my comfort zone with this amazing yellow. I have done some of the cables, the first row of cables. And I'm just plugging along. I am using some very old Barocco Ultra Alpaca. And this is very old stash, so I'm really excited to be using it. I'm just gonna plug along with this. There's not a whole lot to say. We've got some twisted rib and all that jazz, so it's not really a whole lot to show you right now. I do have my gummy bear marker to help me figure out how many rows I've done after the cable. This is from Hand Stitched Life, which is another Progress Keeper maker that I really love. She has such cute things. So would highly recommend you checking out her shop as well, because we love a good Progress Keeper. It's like jewelry for your knitting. And she also has sets that have these stitch markers. Like, what am I even trying to show you? These are some of the stitch markers. She, depending on the set you can get stitch markers that have beads that match or color coordinated with that Progress Keeper, which is really awesome. She has such high quality stitch markers, and pretty sure those are the only ones I've been using ever since I started using her stuff, because they're just so amazing, and I love having that little bead. I have a matte purple one that I really like. Got a matte dark purple one. And yeah, it really just depends on the set you get. So would highly recommend you checking out her shop. And yeah, this is just a little test knit that's just plugging along, making some good progress. This is good progress because last time when I showed this to you for the first time last week, the yarn hadn't even been wound up yet. It has all been wound up. So that's good. And I'm just going to continue making progress on this. And we have a wonderful group of testers. It's been fun, obviously, to get to know all these people who are knitting the same pattern. That's one of the beauties of test knitting. I feel like depending on how the designer has things set up, of communicating with the designer or posting progress or asking questions, you can, if it's a group message or something, or a forum or something like that, then you have the ability to make friends with the people that you test knit with, which is super awesome, and I think is very cool, and allows you to meet people that you may not have been able to meet before through this testing group. And another one of the beauties of test knitting. So I think that is wonderful, and yes, would highly recommend test knitting, and just really all that fun stuff. What am I saying? I don't even know anymore. So I do have some projects in here that I have been actively working on in previous weeks, but I did not work on them at all this past week, so I'm not going to show you because there's nothing to show you. And no, I haven't worked on my socks. And we're not going to feel bad about it. It's going to be fine. I've been busy. And I also have my Basque shawl in there as well. So yes, I think it's important just to work on whatever feels right, with a few deadline things sprinkled in there, it's important. But I would like to discuss, there are those projects that we have sitting around that have been put on the back burner or have become a languishing whip, which, if you are new here, what I would determine something is a languishing whip that has been on your needles for more than 6 months or more. And in 2019, I went through a I always say the wrong word. When I think process, I say progress, and when I think process, I say process. I went through this whole thing where I had planned out all my languishing whips and how many I needed to finish a month to get my whips on my needles, both new and old, under a certain number, and I don't even remember what that number was. I did succeed. I think that number is, yeah, obviously it's higher now, but it really doesn't matter. I was not doing that because I felt bad about it. I wasn't doing it because I was feeling shame about it. There was no bad feelings about it. It was just for my mental calmness. I felt stressed by having so many things on my needles, and I felt like I needed to have a little bit more control and like get things under wraps a little bit more. And I did, and I felt really good, and it was a really great thing for me to do. And I finished so many things, it was crazy. And so I do have a handful of those projects that are still left over from that time, and then have also become Languishing whips since then. And there are some of them that I just like can't stop thinking about for some reason. Like the past couple weeks I keep thinking about these projects that are on my needles, and I'm just like, I should really pull that out. I really should pull it out because I really want to work on it, and I feel like this is a sign that this needs to get done. And I honestly don't know if these technically count as Languishing whips, because one of these was another one of those ones that I have failed to put on my Ravelry. I may have written in my PDF when I cast this on, but I honestly don't know. And this is in another Maker and Stitch bag that I love dearly. And this is actually my Woolen Honey. You may, if you're new here, you may not even know that I was interested in making a Woolen Honey. The Woolen Honey by Andrea Mowry has been one of my dream knits for forever. Like, I love the look of pretty much all Woolen Honeys. I think it's an amazing pattern. It looks incredible on everybody. I haven't seen a bad Woolen Honey, which speaks to the pattern and also just speaks to how cute it is. And I've had this yarn. I got this yarn even longer ago for this purpose. It was specifically yarn for Woolen Honey, and this is Knit Picks palette in the, can I even remember? Do I have a ball band in here? No, I don't. I do have this in here, which is the yarn I'm knitting with, and another pair of needles. Are these my, no, they're not. I was gonna say, are these fixed, or are these my changeable needles? I love this. I think it is just gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning, and this has been one of the ones that I can't stop thinking about, and I really need to pull it out and keep on working on it because it's a lot of fun. Like, I remember, I think I put it down because I got really carried away with my test knits, and I just didn't have enough time, and things got carried away, and it was just like a lot. And I just never picked it up again, but I love this. I think this is just so cool looking. I remember when it came out, and I remember what a big deal it was. I feel like it is still a big deal because, again, it is a gorgeous sweater. I have no idea where I am in the pattern, but I do have the PDF, and I do believe I have everything circled and saved and all that jazz. I remember, like, at the time that I had stopped, I had it figured out of, like, not really needing to look at the pattern except for certain situations, and I need to figure that out again. But that's okay. You know what? That's just the process of picking up old projects. And look, here's another Hand Stitch Life marker that we love. I love how, like, bright and happy that is against that gray yarn. I believe it's this something like Asphalt Heather, maybe, the color of this yarn from Knit Picks. It is just stunning, and I love it so much. So much. I really enjoy knitting on these little honeycombs. They're actually cables, fun fact. They're slip stitches, and they're cables, which when I saw this, like, before I had ever knit one, it was always a moment of, like, I don't know what that is or how you accomplish that, but I really want to do one. I'll just learn it when I get there. And if it's a new technique, that's awesome. If it's not, that's also great. But it's a combination of cables and slip stitches, which I think is very, very unique, very amazingly brilliant to create this amazing texture. We love a good texture in the garter stitch and just everything. Love it. Having not knit on this, I feel like this is not a, I feel like I couldn't actually say this with much authority, but I'm going to say it anyway because I feel it deep down in my soul that I could see myself making multiples of these, different kinds, because I've seen long ones, I've seen cropped ones, I've seen short sleeve ones, I've seen long sleeve ones, obviously. I love the idea of a cropped one. It smells good. Oh man. I need to work on this, right? I really need to work on this. So this is one of the ones that I can't stop thinking about. So that needs to happen. And also this other one that I did cast on sometime last year for, oh god, I was about to say, am I in the middle of a row? This was the Moving Forward cowl that was hosted by Denise of Bayron Handmades, and this is her pattern. This is the Moving Forward wrap, and I'm just using this as stash bust, really. I pulled together a palette that I really liked out of my stash, and I was just going with it. So there is no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing, but I love it. I honestly couldn't tell you how many more repeats I have. Let's see, I've done 1, 2, 3. So, and I honestly, I don't know where you count the repeats from. I'm not very helpful. But I think I've done 3 repeats, and yeah, it'll just be a long scarf that's full of random colors, and I love it. I do think that I had a thought and it just left my brain. Oh, it's a good mindless knit, really. I mean, I will have to continue to look at the pattern again and figure out what I'm doing and everything again. But if I remember correctly, it's pretty straightforward. It's very easy to get into a rhythm. I really love this section right here. These colors just bring me joy. I love that. And yeah, she hosted a knit along last year that was about 4 weeks, and I think you did a repeat a week, and so in the end you were supposed to have finished it within the month, which would make sense, but I did not do that, obviously. But that's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's still such a good pattern. She has very, very, very cute patterns, so I would highly recommend you checking out her other patterns as well. I knit her Grace sweater last year. It's a cabled, or a single cable down the front there. Oh no, there's 3 cables, never mind. There's 3 baby cables down the front. It's super cute. And then finally, I haven't been thinking about this one as much, but I have been thinking about it, so I thought I'd throw it in. And this is this a Languishing whip? This is so old it's not even currently on needles because I stole the needles for something else. Do you do that? I think we all do that. I needed my needles for something else, and in fact I'm pretty sure the Wool and Honey is on different needles. I need to make sure that I don't knit with those needles that are on there because I'm pretty sure they're the wrong ones. This is currently on a Scooby because I stole these needles to do something else, but this is the Hot Oatmeal shawl pattern by Sweater Freak. And I cast this on in August of last year. So yeah, I think it's been 6 months ish, around 6 months. It's been over 6 months, something like that. I don't, time. This is Forest Fiber Arts in the Amethyst colorway. Again, Amethyst Storm colorway, excuse me. Again, we have the theme of amethyst, and I'm a fan of amethyst because it's my birthstone, and I love purple, and I think it's just amazing. I feel like this color really also captures the beauty of amethysts, especially the really dark ones. I think they're just stunning. I just love this so much. So we do have some lace. I have royally messed up this lace. Like, no one can look too closely. I can't look too closely, otherwise I will get annoyed with myself. It is pretty messed up, but that's okay. I just need to, again, I need to get this on needles, actually. I do have a progress keeper on here that I have been looking for, so that's exciting. This is my coffee and donut from Little Bitty Delights that I love. And it's so cute. Ooh, there we go. We got some super cute. So I've been thinking about this one as well. And I just feel inspired to pick up something else from my stash of whips. I also want to cast something else on. I feel like there's just a lot of factors right now. Like, in this moment, I'm like, I just want to cast on and work on all the things that I'm not working on right now. Do you ever have those moments where you're just like, I'm just gonna ditch all my projects, my current projects, and work on anything else? And that's not to say that I don't love my projects, my current projects, because I clearly do. But I don't know. I think it's also because I'm tired, and I'm just needing some creative mix-ups, I just need to mix things up. So I don't know, I just need to figure it out and take a nap. Yeah. I apologize. So that is all the knitting that I'm going to talk about today. Obviously, I have so many other whips that I could talk about. I have other languishing whips I could talk about. I could talk about whips that I want to have. But these are the ones that I've been thinking about. These are the ones that I'm currently working on. And yeah, we're just hoping to make progress on all of them. Last week I made for our church's Easter picnic that we had after our Easter service. It was quite delightful. We all sat outside and we brought picnic lunches. I made some fancy sandwiches from Half Baked Harvest, and then I also made her brownie blondies, which peanut butter blondies, I should also say. So the bottom is a brownie, and then the top is a peanut butter blondie, and then you put chocolate on top. Chocolate pieces, I should say. And they're very good. They're very good. So that's the baking that I did last week. I feel like I haven't been baking as much. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. It's a phase. I'm sure it'll come around again. I've been reading a lot and listening to things a lot. Really enjoying that. Just helps having things. Excuse me, I'm about to yawn again. Oh, I'm sorry. I enjoy listening to things while I do other things. I feel like it helps me enjoy the thing that I'm doing more, or makes it feel less overwhelming or daunting, or less chore-like if it's folding the laundry, which I have a lot to do because I was late to getting my laundry started today. But yes, I don't always talk about the books that I read or listen to here on this podcast, just because I don't necessarily feel like I have a lot of eloquent things to say about these books that I'm listening to. Also because I go through them so quickly, it's just a lot. And that also comes and goes too. I don't always go through them really quickly. But if you are interested in things that I'm reading and you want to keep up to date with that, you are more than welcome to follow me on Goodreads or be my friend or however that works. And then you will get updates of what I am reading and what I want to read and what I finish and all that kind of stuff, what I thought of it. I don't always leave reviews. Sometimes I do, but it really just depends on how strongly I felt about the book. It's very rare, but sometimes I do feel very strongly and I leave a review. So yeah, that is a thing. And yeah, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I feel like I should go. I feel like we've drawn this podcast to a close. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you are more awake than I am. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. Clearly, I have lots of crafty plans. I feel like I say that every time. I always mean to have a more eloquent thing to say, but I never do. But I have a lot of crafty plans, whether we pull something new in from the rotation of Languishing whips, because the Ziggy is also a Languishing whip, or if we cast on something new. I don't know. We need to finish the Penguino, and just make progress on my test knit. So I have good plans and a lot of good books coming up, so I'm excited to dig into those, I have all the things, all the places. I have show notes on my blog. Links to that will be down below. Also, all the giveaway information, it will be on my blog or on the YouTube page. So please go enter on last week's episode if you were interested, in addition to the other things that you must do to enter to win the gift card and the pattern from Heather, which is very exciting. If you have any questions about that, feel free to send me a message. I'm more than happy to help, answer your questions, just chat and say hi. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me, even when I have random episodes that I'm just not up to my normal caliber of self, but this is real life. This is how things go, and we just move forward, and it's okay. It's okay. We'll be fine. It's okay. We have a unicorn Pusheen, so how can things be bad? This is the sole decoration for this episode. We go from having a table with a little plastic tree on it and my Swift to a little, it's actually a keychain. It's a keychain. We're decorating with keychains now, but you know what? You do what you gotta do, and it's cute, so how can we go wrong? It's also Pusheen. We love Pusheen. Anyway, I'm rambling. I don't think I have anything else to say. I should probably stop saying things because I'm rambling. And I think it's getting late. Yeah, dinner will probably need to happen soon. So, with that, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me, even when I'm tired and don't know what I'm saying. But I should be back to normal next week, and I will see you then, hopefully with finished objects and a lot more pep. Bye.